Hey gang, Bronco Carl 92 here. Long time no see. So for today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I converted the 95 Dodge 2500 with a Cummins Turbo Diesel over to Hydro-boosted brakes. So here we go. Alright, so like I said, it's been a while. Had a lot to do this summer. A lot of stuff to do around the house. I had some other projects I had to work on, and filming everything just seems to eat up a lot of time and make it a little inefficient. So sorry for that, sorry for the lack of videos, but anyhow, let's go on to this project here. So when we converted this truck from V10 to diesel here, I kept the original vacuum actuated booster, which is okay because these early trucks actually had this. Hydroboost was an option. I had a couple of issues, I guess over the winter, and I guess just a few months ago, where I've developed a vacuum leak from a line coming off. One time it was the cruise control actuator, and another time it was the heater. When these trucks get old, obviously from the heat and everything, the vacuum lines get brittle and stuff. And when you have a vacuum leak, you basically have like one brake application, and then a while before it recovers. When you plow snow, that sucks. So anyway, I looked into it, and the factory parts were available to convert to Hydroboost. So what I did was I accumulated some parts, and I'm going to show you those in a minute. My battery light's flashing, so I'm going to get another battery. Right, anyhow, that's better. So here's the parts that I've accumulated. I looked and I found some parts on Rock Auto, remanufactured, some new, and of course we had to hit eBay. So let me show you what I got. Right, so I picked up this remanufactured Hydroboost unit from Rock Auto. It's a Cardone part. This power steering pump over here is also from Rock Auto. It's from another company I can't remember off the top of my head right now. I think Jabsco sounds right. This is a new master cylinder. It's a Dorman piece. And of course I got some power steering fluid there, brake fluid, and I got these hoses. And an interesting thing that I had discovered when I got this unit here, it didn't have that, and of course it didn't have these pipes over here. So what I wound up doing was I found a used unit from a wrecker in Kentucky on eBay, and he sent me that. And of course I got the lines, and they sent in a master cylinder with it, which I didn't use. I got a new one. I'm not going to reuse a master cylinder on a truck that I have no idea about. And that was pretty much it. The adapter wasn't available from Chrysler anymore. Neither were the lines. So I guess at the end of the day, I have a spare Hydroboost unit sitting in a box on the floor over there. I guess maybe if I did my homework beforehand, I wouldn't have the extra expense, but at least I know I have a good remand Hydroboost unit installed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the old unit out of the truck. We'll put it up on the bench, and I'll show you a little bit here and there along the way, and we'll get to it. So hold on. One other thing I did want to mention: these are new front brake hoses. And the reason why we're going to be changing those is when the Dodge dealer did my coil spring recall last year, I guess they hung the front axle by the brake hoses, and they had bent the metal brackets. And I had realized one day when I was looking under the truck at something that I guess on extreme left and right turns, the hoses were rubbing on the tires, and the hoses are actually pretty chewed up right now. And I'm actually lucky I didn't lose my brakes. So. I wanted to take it to the dealer and show them that, but they're going to say, well, you know what, that was a year ago, how could you blame us? But they're the only ones who worked on the truck besides me, and of course I'd never hang the axle by the brake hoses because I'm not a friggin' idiot. So anyhow, I'll put you back on in a bit. Alright, so I used my vacuum, my vacula as it's called, and I sucked the brake fluid out of here, disconnected the lines, it disconnected the electric, and I unbolted the 4 bolts on the inside of the firewall there. You can't really see up there anyway, so and of course I removed the push rod from the brake pedal, so now we just have to lift this whole contraption up and out. Okay, so what I'll do in a little bit is down there's the power steering pump. We'll suck the oil out of that and we'll remove that in a little bit. Alright, so here's our old power booster unit. I have to remove this this proportioning valve and this ABS valve over here and mount them over here, and I've already pre-bent these lines. The connections over here are a metric bubble flare. Sorry about that, because this master cylinder is actually for a 97 model, or excuse me, 97 and up model. It's just kind of the way it worked out when I got this adapter here. So anyhow, let me pull a few things off and we'll get you back on. Okay, so we have our master and booster unit all prepped. I have my bleeding fittings on here, so we're going to actually push the fluid into the line here and up and out, and that's the best way to get all the air out. And now we have to just pull the power steering pump off the truck. Alright, so the pump's down in here. The lighting's not that great. Oh, there you go. That was a neat trick. Anyhow, I'm going to remove the whole pump and vacuum pump assembly, and then we'll swap the pump out and put that back on. So let me just pull that out of there and I'll put you back on. Okay, with a little bit of fussing, we have the vacuum power steering pump combination off. So now we're just going to swap that out with that pump there and put it back in place. Okay, so I swapped the pump over, and all it is just removing these 4 nuts and swapping the studs over and swapping the pump. It's not really a big deal at all. So I'm just going to install this line on the steering box, since the access will be easier, and then we'll stick this in place and we'll shove the booster in place. Okay, so we've got everything installed now. So our booster's in place, our lines, and I can tell you to remember to tighten these before you start the engine. Don't be an idiot like I did and spray oil all over the place. So I have fluid in the master cylinder, and I just have to change the front brake lines and bleed out the system. And yeah, I guess you can see the new pump down there too. So let me get these lines changed. I want to show you what they look like, and I'll put you back on in a second. Alright, so the brakes are all done. I got the line swapped out, I got everything bled, and took the truck for a ride, and the brakes are freaking awesome now. Never been this good. So anyway, I wanted to just give you a quick shot of the brake lines that I took off that were rubbing the tires after I guess a year of the brackets being bent from when they did the recall on the truck. So here's what we got. So if you look right here, the hose is totally abraded. We're through a layer of cloth fiber and almost into the brake line, and I'd say that that's like pretty close to failing. The one from, let's see, this is the right side. The one from the left side isn't so bad, but you can see it was hitting also. So what happened was when they hung the truck by the axle, they bent these brackets over here, and the bracket was kind of like that. you can really tell what I'm talking about, but I had bent them back to flat, how they're supposed to be, temporarily. But anyway, I guess it's kind of a good thing I noticed that, because it would really suck to have that pop. So anyhow, that's what I got. More fun from the dealer. So anyhow, as always, thanks for watching. This was not intended to be a how-to video. This was kind of like more like a how I did it. So for the people that complain that I didn't show this or show that, like I said, it was a how I did it and not a how-to video. So anyhow, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys again soon. Take care.